Alright, I'm back. Looking at this like streamer team battle thing that Alonzo sent me. When is this? In 2 days? But it's at 9 o'clock in the morning? That's not good for me. I'm wondering if I even... Oh no, you can't join it. It's only 10 teams. Or wait. Okay, yeah, there's only 10 teams. That makes a lot more sense than just letting anybody join it. Let's see, do I like any of these people? Not really. Oh, I like Chess Network, never mind. I'm a big Chess Network fan. So, go Chess Network. Let's flip this over here. I guess let's try some tactics. I did some earlier and I did terribly. Um... Oh yeah, sorry, not playing a game. No, just tactics. How's it going, Alonzo? Pretty confused by this one though. This bishop's loose, which I feel like has to play into it, but I'm trying to see how I can like move my queen here and threaten this and this, but that bishop's there and I guess maybe this is an idea. Rook's pretty short on squares. Okay, I'm gonna try that. Darn. I give up. I thought about that move, but I didn't see why it was problematic. So if he just plays here, now this works? Okay, if he goes here. Take. Oh, I take that knight. Ah, I'm still confused. I guess I'm up a piece somehow or another. Or no, I'm not. But I'm just crushing him. Okay. Well, I want to promote. I'm wondering about just like Rook D1. Because if he moves the Rook, then this is actually mate. So... Yep. Not doing the best today. Yeah, I should look at checks. Just being lazy today. Lazy in my calculation. You want to stream commentary on my games? I mean, you can if you want. I don't know that I'm gonna be providing the most instructive games today, but we'll see. But, I mean, if you want to do that, I'm not going to stop you. Let's see, what do we have? I don't know, I just feel like my... I feel like I can't see anything today. Either that or it's just giving me harder tactics. I mean, like, I don't know what he really does about that, but I don't know if that's the most winning plan. Looks like white should be crushing it here. Let's try it. Yeah. Can't see nothing. I mean, I looked at this too, but I thought... Okay, yeah. And then I thought he could do that. Oh, I guess he's not really threatening the queen. Oh, that's just hanging. Okay. Yeah. So he can't do that. Yeah, I guess he can't move the pawn. This doesn't work? I've got too much. Yeah, okay. I sound a little like John Bartholomew? I assume you mean my voice and not my chess prowess, because I'm nowhere close to John Bartholomew in that. But I'll take the compliment. John Bartholomew's a great chess personality. If only I could play like him. Well, is this not hanging? Guess he does this sort of thing. This is also loose, but... Maybe here and then here, and once the file is secure I can take the knight. But he can also defend the knight. Ah! Oh, I can actually block with the knight and defend my piece. I think that's it. Yeah. Yay, I got one right. Somehow. Okay, well I want to do this. So, I mean, like, this seems like it's gonna maybe add some pressure. Guess he can just take, but... Really? There? Yeah, I guess this is annoying. Okay, I believe that. Alright, I need to try to get one or two more right before I play games, or I'm just gonna get crushed. I get crushed anyway. This rook weren't here, this would be mate, so... Not sure how to distract the rook. Takes two moves. I mean, this just seems pretty slow. Thanks for the follow, Chrissy Wissy. Hope you're enjoying watching me fail at these tactics. And I mean, he can move the queen, or I assume he can queenside castle. Well, that's not the queenside, so... Oh yeah, it is. I'm mixed up. Yeah, I assume he can queenside castle to sort of get out of it, so I need a one-move threat if I'm going for the king. I'm just at a loss. Need my queen and my a-rook to do something, but everything takes like 2 or 3 moves. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, that should be a pretty obvious move. I'm hitting the 2 vulnerable squares. Alright. Alright, one more and then I'm just gonna throw caution to the wind and play regardless. Obviously not getting any better. Guess he could take. I've got this pin at the end of things, so maybe that does work. Can he play f6? Maybe I'm just overthinking things. E4 looks like it distracts the queen from this. Yay, I did it! How's it going, Gutdroff? Probably butchering that. Alright, I need to blow my nose real quick, but then I'll go ahead and be looking for a game. Yes, it's con time. Did I come close on your German name at least? Gutdroff? I'm like 30% German, so, you know, maybe I've got some sort of genetic insight there. Oh, what am I doing? I'm supposed to play the con. I have to play this silly D6 line now. Terrible. Yeah, I guess with any German word, you have to really lay it on thick. Okay. D3. Well. This diagonal looks nice, so. Got good control over this square, so. Not sure what's going on with this guy. I guess let's just make the normal looking development move. I think long term I'd like to trade these two. Maybe isn't the easiest plan to implement. Have to do something like this, except for the correct square. I think in general that's a slow plan, though. Maybe I shouldn't want to trade these guys off. He's got his central pawns on light squares, mine are on dark squares, so... I don't expect he's going to be able to get e5 in unless he wants to just sack a pawn. Okay. That's sort of an odd looking move. I guess he wants to play f4. Okay. Alonso plays the carrot when you mouse slip the Sicilian, yeah. Oh, okay, I didn't anticipate this. But e5 could make some sense here. Well, he's probably going to play c3. Okay, I don't really see... I don't really like my position. I don't know what I should do. But... Are you asking what type of Sicilian this was? I'm not even sure what to call it. I mean, it was an open Sicilian... Well, I guess it's not really an open Sicilian. He played knight c3 on move 3, and then d3. So I don't know what that's called. Some kind of closed Sicilian. Yeah. Well, I usually play the Najdorf, but the past few days in the stream I've been talked around to the Khan. So I meant to play a Khan, I just forgot. and play d6 instead. Yeah, I don't like this. But I don't know what to do about it. Probably should have traded this knight. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what to do. Thinking about just trying to do this plan. I'm not sure which move is coming here. Yeah, I thought maybe that one. At least this gives me this square back. I don't think that he's threatening to capture on g6. I mean, he can, but I don't think that that's problematic. Maybe even e6 is worthwhile. Sort of break out a bit. Yeah, I think I like e6. I don't really know. Obviously, I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, the Paulson variation was also recommended to me the other day. Isn't the Paulson the same as the Taimanov? So yeah, basically my story is I usually play the Najdorf all the time, and now I'm testing out the Khan. Because more often than not, the Najdorf gets crazy, and I'm not so good in crazy positions. Yeah, that's another common thing that's happened to me recently is my opponents know a lot more theory than I do. This is like pretty much my all-time high for classical rating, so I think I'm getting to a point where players are more booked up. Up until now, I think I've been fine with just knowing like the first 5 or 6 moves of something. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to stick with the Khan in the near future and just see how that treats me. I like it so far. I guess my opponent didn't anticipate e6. F5's the kind of move that, like, if I were on the wide end, I would have expected my opponent to take, even though I think it's obviously not a good idea to take. But I would, for some reason, expect it anyway. Hey, Heaven Owned, how's it going? I'm pretty good. I can't complain. So is everyone bummed that the candidates got postponed? We haven't talked about that yet. I'm a little bummed, but it was the right decision. But it was nice to have the candidates as entertainment. Since there's no other sport on. Guadamuzo. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Well, I mean, I was thinking about pushing d5 anyway. He's kind of egging me on. Looks like things will open up, perhaps violently, if I do that. I guess maybe e5. I could take first. Seems like letting him take here gets a little scary. But if I push e5 and then d5 isn't adequately defended. think I want to threaten to come to e3. And if he stops that, jump back in here. No, I did not see the interview with Sasha. I remember hearing a few days ago some interviews with him where he was like, yeah, this is stupid. Nobody wants to be here. Everyone's thoughts are, 1,000 miles away. Why are we having this tournament? But yeah, the picture of the opening ceremony is just shameful. Like, it's just amazing. Like, every other sport organization in the world figured out that needed to postpone events, and chess is the one that is like not doing it. Like, come on. Isn't chess supposed to be like a game for intellectuals? Karpov running around shaking everybody's hand. I do not have a FIDE rating. I've never played a rated over-the-board game. I'd like to play over-the-board, but I don't think I would play in any FIDE tournaments. I'd play in USCF. I don't think I'm good enough for a FIDE rating to really be worthwhile. Yeah, I think this game is about to get crazy. There's a lot of tension that seems like it is gonna have to be resolved. Okay. So I thought here, and then I'm not really sure what I'm gonna take. I mean, I could even take this, I think. Maybe not, because he can take here and here. Oh, actually I could take here, because I'm one his queen. Forgot about that. That makes the most sense. Yeah, he doesn't have time to take my rook. Okay, so now I probably have maybe have an advantage. He's got a lot of compensation. And this is gonna hurt. Okay. Defend my pawn. Maybe taking with the queen or the king is better, but no, I'm just getting mated. Was there anything I could have done there? Probably getting mated regardless. So if king takes, check here. Yeah. And both of these pieces can't move. Yeah, I think I'm getting mated regardless. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I needed to keep my bishop around to guard for the mate on g7. I didn't see that coming. Probably should have been more aware of that with his pawn on f6, since that's a normal idea. Hey, Middle Eagle, how's it going? So, I think I played badly in the opening, and then... I mean, I think I managed to equalize or maybe even be a little better after I won an exchange here, but then I just played badly in the subsequent moves. Looks like the computer thinks he was still better, even after losing the exchange. Not too surprising. But the computer is also saying that it was actually pretty even out of the opening that I had managed to equalize. So let's look. I played d6 because I forgot. Oh, g6 is the main move here. Isn't that what I did? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm a genius. g3, okay. So these moves have all been played. We're back into a pretty well-known position. e5. I was resistant to ever play e5 because my bishop's sort of blocked up, but so is his, so maybe that's okay. I don't think I misclicked. Did I misclick somewhere? I don't remember misclicking. Botvinnik liked e5 here? Well, he was pretty good. Let's see if there's any Botvinnik games. No. So I can't confirm that. I misclicked c5 instead of c6? That's not ringing a bell, but I'm probably just losing my mind. Okay, knight f6 is still a move here. Actually, man, white doesn't do so well against knight f6. I'm inclined to think knight f6 is the best move theoretically if white's scoring 6%. Really? I said that? I'm losing my mind, obviously, because I have no memory of that. Maybe I'll get to that position and remember. Yeah, knight h4 seemed like a weird move to me, but it's been played. Yeah, and I was looking at this idea, and actually the reason I played knight d4, yeah, I wanted to see kind of what he would do against that. I was kind of hoping for trading these pieces for these pieces. And if he played f6, I thought I would just bring my bishop back to d7 and he'd probably play f5, and it would transpose with if we just played bishop d7 and f5 right away. But I figured I'd give him a chance to like bring his knight back and then I could trade some pieces favorably. But he moved this knight to e2, which I didn't expect. And yeah, I mean, again, I looked at bishop g4, but I thought f3 was fine. Yeah, so, I mean, it wants me to do that plan, or it says I can do that plan of bishop g4, f3, and then bring the bishop back to d7. So that's sort of an odd maneuver there, I guess. So I just went here directly. He played c3, and yeah, I regretted not trading. I think leading up to this move, I was thinking I would just trade whenever he played c3, but for some reason I kept the knight on. I mean, I think my bishop would be happy on this square, so I should definitely trade and not retreat. And here, yeah, I just had no idea what to do. I don't think I looked at h6. At some point I was thinking about h6. Okay, e6 at least was a good try here. Wow, queen c7. I don't know, that looks pretty dangerous, but it does defend the pawn. So the computer's not impressed with my knight g4 idea. Wants me to just defend the pawn. That just looked super dangerous to me. So yeah, this was all best. Yeah, and it doesn't want me to save my rook. Yeah, I mean, I guess the pawn getting to f6 was obviously a killer. So maybe I need to just... I mean, is it wanting me to even take with my g-pawn? No. E takes f, and then rook e8. Yeah, at least my rook's sort of getting active then. So the computer wants... Oh, I need to go back one more. Here, 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 and then I assume he still gets f6. I've got to come back here. Yeah, I mean, or rook takes e2, I guess, is interesting. Bishop g4 in that position. Yeah, bishop h8 is just such a sad move to play. Just conceding that my bishop is dead for the entire game. But obviously I needed to play it, because I just get mated otherwise. And yeah, it's already a mate in 5. No matter what I do. Okay. Well, that was fun, I guess. Let's try another one. Yes, I get white against my crazily named opponent from Antarctica. You don't see too many Antarctic chess players. No Nemzos. I don't know how to play the Queen's Indian, come on. Really? You're fianchettoing both? Alright, I guess I'll just castle. And develop this knight. I want to get e4. So I guess I'll play e4. That center's pretty. Nice centralized rooks. Nice center. I think that move stops e5. I've been wrong about such things before. Thanks for the follow, Gootdrauf, or Gootdrauf, or however aggressively I need to say it. What is that, 70 followers now? That follower count really isn't accurate. There have been some movements that have occurred off stream. Wow, he did that without me playing bishop h6? Hey, another follower. Thanks, A Ghost Who Walks. Man, I thought e5 and his knight was looking pretty short on squares. But does give him the chance to trade queens. Or join the Discord. E5. Alright, I'm just gonna do it. Okay. I expected him to take first. And g4 is just screaming to be played. God, g4 looks like he's getting crushed. Alright. Now here, and then here, and then here. maybe here. I don't want to allow f6. His knight doesn't have anywhere to move to, so... Yeah, I mean, I can. Is there anything in particular that you're interested in? Like my rating progression, or what specifically? Man, surely white's like +5 here. There's no way I'm not +5. Look at these silly pieces. Throw this one in. Usually this is me. Like, usually I have the black side of this. Man, closing it off more. I thought he needed to take this knight. This just seems like... ugh. Even if he gives up his knight or something, like say knight h5, pawn takes, bishop takes, e takes f6, and this threat's back on. I'm not threatening anything yet, but I mean, knight g5 is gonna kill him. Yeah, I thought that was possible. Yeah, white's +1,000,000. The computer doesn't get mated somehow. Yeah, the computer says knight h5 is best. That's not a good sign. So I thought after e5 he needed to take, and then... okay, the computer doesn't take. Computer says this is already crushing. Wow, I was already +4, +5. I mean, obviously my position's better, I just wasn't sure what the correct way to press the advantage was. Advantage is maybe putting it lightly. Queen f4, I never saw that. I thought the game would continue like this, and then I thought I'd take with the knight, yeah. And then his queen's hanging, his bishop's hanging, so he has to go here. And then I didn't really see the kill, but it just looked like, I mean, this is not how you want to play chess, really. But yeah, queen f4 looks pretty good. Threatening this and this. So yeah, I don't know if I would have found that, but obviously bad things are going to happen sooner or later here. Yeah, getting closer. You know, it's really interesting. It seemed like the past few days, like, if I get paired with players who are in this like 19, say under 1950, feels like I'm doing well against those players. But then if I get paired with players above 2000, I get crushed a lot. So it's like, even though there's only like, 100-point difference, it feels like each step is getting like tougher and tougher to climb. Like the players that are 2000, 2050, 2100 are that much better, I mean, maybe that's just a faulty perception that I have of it, but it just feels like each step gets harder to take. But I am close to 2000. So let's look at the full analysis here. See, I don't really know the Queen's Indian. I just know that I'm supposed to be in Keto opposite him like this. Yeah, I didn't think that... I thought G6 seemed like a funny move. It's been played a decent number of times, but Bishop B7 is the main move. And Bishop B4 check also played. I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight since the dark square weaknesses were what ended up losing the game for him. Okay, so castling was correct. Bishop G7. I mean, I basically just played the normal looking developing moves and ended up with a big advantage. Yeah, and A6 is another kind of slow move. Because, like, I'm not really thinking about Knight B5 yet. Not really a threat. Wants him to play 94, and I guess try to trade these off. And what I do here, I think I played Bishop G5. No. Oh, I played Rook E1. Right, yeah, I wanted to get E4 in. Queen C2 is the move suggested by the computer, which I guess also helps me play E4. Yeah, I didn't see Queen C2 as an idea. That didn't occur to me. I mean, I did wonder if I ever have to be careful enough too, but I mean, his knight can attack it, but I don't see how anything else is going to get to F2. So, computer says this is a little inaccurate. I don't know that I really see the problem. Queen C2 better placed than Rook E1. Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't look super likely that the center's going to open up. And maybe I do want to play F4 later. So maybe the rook's just better on F1. Oh yeah, and that's also true that Queen C2 just stops Knight E4. And this knight is kind of just in the way of his bishop. So yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, once I played E4, I was really happy that I've got this center. Wants me to play Bishop F4. It says Bishop G5 was inaccurate. Let's see, what was I planning against H6? I had some kind of plan. What was I gonna do here? Oh, I think if H6 I was gonna play Bishop E3, and I thought that if he tried to take this pawn, I could get this pawn. So like this, and then take here. Yeah. And the computer doesn't want to trade bishops, it wants to save his light square bishop. So that's not as good for white. I mean, maybe Bishop E3 just wasn't the correct placement. It looks like it prefers bringing it all the way back to D2. But I did kind of think H6 might be a bit weakening for him, because, I mean, later on I can bring my queen to this diagonal and try to win the pawn. Oh, or f4. But that didn't happen. Yeah, that seemed like a funny way to resolve the pin. He's getting in his knight's way, and he's sort of running into 95 at some point. So yeah, here queen d2 was just to stop h6. But yeah, I mean, I thought about e5 here, and then I eventually decided on rook ad1 because I didn't like the looks of e5 and then this trade, then him trading queens, then him trading bishops. It just felt like everything got traded off, so I thought bringing the rook over could sort of help prevent those things. But I didn't see the idea of if he takes taking with the knight, so I'm guessing that's probably why I'm okay to play e5 now. But rook ad1 is perfectly fine too. And yeah, this is another kind of weird one where he's backing his bishop into the corner unprovoked. I don't know that I see the plan with knight g4 for him. So I don't really know what to suggest. I mean, obviously it's just better for white, a lot better. The bishop h8 is a really weird move. And yeah, this was the fun part. Glad I found g4. Yeah, I thought he really needed to take the knight to avoid knight g5. And yeah. Alright, good deal. Let's try to make it a winning streak, I guess. What's going on with my music? I guess this song just doesn't make any noise. Chess King. I've got a Chess King too. Now if he takes, I guess I have a decision to make. I sort of like the idea of taking with the pawn, having the b file to work with. It's probably better taking towards the center, the pawn. Not sure what my rook's going to do from c3. But the c file could open, so not the worst idea to get some heavies lined up on the c file. Oh yeah, I was gonna see how many followers I actually had. Can update the little counter. Where are those followers? 72 followers. How can I do this? What do I do? Properties? End goal? 75, starting amount 72, end and never. Not paying attention to the game, that seems like a smart idea. Did that work? Nice. Yeah, I wondered about F5. Probably was correct to not take. I thought I would just castle here. Hello, how's it going, baby peels? That sort of gives away this square. That seems like a good square. You're ready to play F3. Get rid of that knight. As well as another threat. Oh. A lot of stuff going on in the center here. Especially if I play F3, that's 13 out of 16 center squares that have something on it. Okay, I guess he didn't see this threat. Is there any downside to that? I guess the downside's my knight is pretty nice. Yeah, but rooks are nice too. I mean, there's probably an argument to be made for just hanging on to this knight. But kind of hard to say no to. Alright, let's just go for the material. I'm wondering if G4 is an idea, since he's got a lot of stuff lined up here. Might just free up his bishop. Okay, on this I figured I would just take. I want to just free up the C file, start bringing these guys over. Also, I mean, this is probably a fine move. The position's opening up. Getting rid of his bishop might not be the worst idea. E6 is going to be weak, and his bishop is a defender. Looks pretty good, but there's still a lot of converting to do here. Also, now if he jumps in here, maybe I just take and lose my bishop, but I win a pawn, and he kind of helps me with this plan. And if he plays b5, then I get a really nice square for the knight, where it's putting pressure on this weak pawn. Or I could just play this anyway. Don't know which I would prefer. Probably c5, because then if I can get this bishop out of the way, I can hop back into e5. Okay. Yeah, I mean, my knight on e5 looks really valuable. Okay, well, now I don't have to make the decision. That's nice. Did I blunder something? I mean, did he blunder something here and I just missed it? This doesn't seem resignable for him. It just seems really unpleasant. I guess maybe he saw this and he didn't want to give up his bishop, but I don't know. His bishop hasn't really done anything. Is there more of a threat there than I realize? Because he's got two defenders, but the rook is maybe a little shaky. I guess I go here, here, here. I was thinking maybe he would lose b5, but I don't know that I see that. I'm guessing knight c5 is the best move, but I don't know. Probably both moves win. Yeah. Knight b6 is considerably better. Admittedly, I forgot that my rook was putting pressure here too, but his knight's still defending. So yeah, I think yeah, I think when he played knight f6, giving up e5 for this knight, I think that was probably the first big mistake. I mean, I kind of just played normal QGD moves. Yeah, he let me trade those bishops, which I guess is fine, but I'm happy to trade off dark square bishops. Yeah, I mean, f5, the computer really doesn't like. I mean, it does make e5 sort of a permanent hole. I don't blame him for wanting to hold on to e4. But I guess he's just got to be aware that this knight then is the only guy watching over e5, and this knight really needs to move if this bishop's ever going to play. And it wants me to maneuver this knight. I thought about that later in the game, like trying to get to f4, but of course I ended up going to a4. Okay, both plans are pretty equal. Both completely winning. And yeah, I guess he just missed this. It's the nice thing about moves that have two purposes is, like, he might have just looked at knight e5 and said, oh, he's clearing way to play f3, which is true. But the move did two things. So maybe he stopped looking after he saw that f3 was an intention. Yeah, I don't know what to say about a5. I guess just trying to give his rook some more scope, but you should probably try to get this guy involved or stop this. Yeah, the computer likes king h7. That's a funny way of defending that, but it does work. Yeah, so the computer actually likes bishop takes e4. That's interesting. I wonder if it looks like the computer's not... Oh no, it is playing knight g6. Yeah, it is playing knight g6 and then knight takes f8. I was wondering if taking with the bishop was indicative that the computer was wanting to play a line where the position stays really closed, in which case there's probably a bigger argument for the knight on e5 being more valuable than this rook. But computer also tends to be pretty materialistic, so it just wants me to trade this first. I don't think I'd want to trade my bishop for a knight, even though the position is so closed. I've got all my pawns on dark squares, so... And I'm already thinking about, you know, he's going to have a weak pawn. You know, this pawn, or this pawn. Something's going to be weak. And I probably want my light squared bishop to apply pressure. So anyway, not much of a difference between taking the knight with the bishop or going for this right away. And it wanted me to play knight a5, knight a4 directly. Yeah, I guess maybe the idea is it just wants me to hold on to this knight. I mean, because... I mean, c5, e5, b6, these are all pretty good squares for the knight. And playing f3, I give him the chance to just trade it off, and then he doesn't have to worry about those holes, because they're all dark squares. So my bishop's not getting there. Probably difficult for a rook to get there, although everything's losing at this point. Man, I wanted e4. e4 is like the one square that he's got everything lined up against, and it wants me to play e4. I mean, I did see the idea of trying to open up this file. Maybe that's the point. Because, man, e4, f takes e4 is the computer line, but that looks scary to unleash this. I would think that he would want to keep the f-file closed at all costs. So maybe there's a tactical reason he can't play. I guess maybe if he takes with the d-pawn, I have bishop c5. I don't know. Everything's winning. I'm going to quickly look through the opening just to see if there were like any move order issues. I think all the moves I played were pretty standard. Yeah, I mean, you can exchange first, but I didn't want to wimp out. e3 here. Knight f3. Queen c2, okay. I do like to delay, you know, doing anything with this bishop for as long as I can, so that I'm not giving him the opportunity to kind of steal a tempo. So that was kind of the idea of rook c1. That's also a move. Yeah, and I figured a3 was kind of close, or kind of slow, but I know often in these types of positions I like my bishop to do this kind of a maneuver and get behind a queen and go checkmate the guy. So I thought maybe a3. Usually I would just play bishop d3, but I just thought maybe throwing in a3. Then if bishop d3 takes b5, I can sort of do this a little more naturally. Probably not really worth it. I'm just lining up some caveman threat that he shouldn't allow me to execute. Okay, bishop h4 is the main move. Or bishop takes. Yeah, and it says that, yeah, f5 is where he starts to go wrong. He should just trade these knights. Okay, well, I'm back to 1987. So if I can get another 2 wins, I might be there. Might. Actually, I'm gonna go refill my water bottle before this next game. So let's throw on some Lichess TV. for y'all, and I'll be back in just a second. Alright, who's winning? This NM? Those are scary pawns. Guess the computer's not too scared, probably. Well, I don't know. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oof. That was tricky. Who won? White somehow? Damn. Alright. What's with these songs that are just no sound? There we go. Alright, I'm white again. My opponent's in the 1800s again. My last few games with white have been pretty fun. What will it be? Who can it be now? Another Queen's Indian? Worked well last time. Bishop b4 check. Okay. Yeah. Decisions. I always enjoy seeing the difference between someone's rating over different time controls. Like 1886 Classical and 1330 Blitz is really interesting to me. It's possible he just hasn't played Blitz in a long time. He's got a lot more classical games. A5 is theory. Supporting that bishop. And C5. I guess I would play A3 and get the bishop out of there. I mean, it looks like I can just play E4 and not have to mess around with E3. It seems safe. It's interesting. I thought for sure he was playing 94. C5 seems wrong, but it also seems like it puts him in a bind. I guess he could just play B6 and break out of it. So I won't do that. Man, I really like the idea of H4 here. It's probably not a good move, but... I don't know, I could go for some fishing pole type tactic. Probably no reason to do all that. His pieces are all over here. Let's see what he does. Now that I've got, you know, the queen eyeing up h7, I might be willing to play more aggressively should he not deal with that. I mean, h4 and knight g5 is still an idea. I mean, I guess f5 takes. I mean, it's one of those positions where I'm not sure that I see the win, but it seems like he would be getting crushed. Alright, I don't know. I think I'm going to try this idea. Yeah, and I thought if I could provoke f6, then maybe my knight can get to g6. Like h5. I think I can take here. Whether it's any good, I don't know, but I can take there. I don't know, this seems right. Yeah, how could this not be right? If that's wrong, I don't want to be right. My idea with c takes d5 was neither one of these pawns could move. The bishop's hanging and the rook's hanging. But after he takes here, wasn't really sure what I've gained. This looks more difficult. Okay. I don't know. I'm wanting to play crazy. I'm just wondering if I'm gonna get crushed. Appropriate music. Okay, let's play crazy. I don't know who's crushing who. Yeah, I thought that was probably the best move. What an interesting game. Yeah, that knight is at a workout. Yeah, but I think he achieved his objective. Knight H or Rook H3. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot to look at after the game. Yeah, Alonso's good. Alonso knows his stuff. Ah, man, surely this is crushing, but... This seems like a difficult plan to stop. Because these pieces can't move. And this also, this one. Yeah, I don't see what he does about it. Ah, the pin. And when I unpin, the plan is... Do I have a move here? Ah! seemed like all the moves that unpinned, there were problems. Like he was either taking here with check or getting this, or... I thought maybe king d1 was okay. I wasn't sure after takes here and then I like try to run. This seems challenging though. Like after here, I think just here. Yeah, and this doesn't work. Well, I don't think it works. I think after here I just have king d2. Oh, I missed that check. Run! Queen h5 check. I'm really worried I'm gonna mess up and get mated. But I think I can just run. Okay. I can't believe he resigned. I had 12 seconds on my clock. Like, I was under a ton of pressure there. Yeah, that Alicon gun. That doesn't count as an Alicon gun? Thank you. Yeah, that's true. I live in America, so it's still, you know, some kind of gun. Yeah. I mean, I think after king b1 I'm fine, because I don't see the check, but I've missed checks before. Which I assume is why he resigned. Either move is a mate in 4. Even king d2 is fine, you know. I just can't believe he resigned, because there were a lot of variations to look at, and I had 12 seconds on my clock. So I can't understand him resigning. But really the move of the game was this repetition. Here. Knight f8 check, king h8, knight g6 check, always repeat. Knight f8 check. Wow, and it says that king g7 is better. Or king g8 is a mate in 11. That looks scary letting me take the check, but I guess he's getting the knight. That would be difficult to calculate too, but I think I would just assume that there's a mate. Yeah, so the computer analysis is going to be interesting here, because I played like a maniac and left my king completely open and didn't castle. So I'm wondering if... It seems like he probably had some tactical shots at some point. But then again, it took him forever to develop his queen side. So far, it looks like white was better. Yeah, there were a few moments where he was basically equal. So yeah, let's start at the beginning. Yeah, and I don't know... Oh, this is the Bogo Indian. I've heard of it, but I don't know it. Bishop d2 was the book move, so that's good. Taking is possible. Queen e7 is what the database says is most common. a5 and c5 are also there. Oh, really? Queen takes? I thought queen takes knight e4 was kind of annoying. But I guess maybe queen c2. Actually, yeah, what is the move there? He doesn't even play knight e4, but... Yeah, queen c2. Okay. I did feel like once I brought this knight to d2 that I think these knights got traded, which felt advantageous for me. Maybe they didn't get traded because this was the knight that ended up doing all kinds of weird stuff. I don't even remember where all he went, but because this knight was here. So scratch that. Oh, I was thinking in some of these lines, like if he ever takes here and I get to trade this knight, that's probably an advantage for me since my knight doesn't really want to be on d2. So wait, let's look at these moves. g3, the main move, okay. Yeah, I mean, in the game, it took me a while to see what I wanted to do with my bishop, so g3 makes some sense. e4 is probably the most aggressive move. And pushing's fine. Yeah, I thought for sure he would play knight e4. And then I was thinking I would play queen c2. Rook c1. Yeah, I didn't think I needed to initiate this trade at this point, but I figured I would try to pile up and sort of encourage him to take. But, okay. He went back. Queen c2 anyway. Yeah, I was already thinking about h4 here, so I wonder if that was an idea. Nah, computer's not impressed. I have to admit, I was a little suspicious in the game when he played h6. If maybe he was listening to my audio, because I didn't really get the point of h6, except for that he heard me, unless he had heard me talking about trying to do this h4 knight g5 idea. Because otherwise it doesn't look like I'm playing knight g5. Maybe he just saw that as an idea and tried to stop it, but I don't think h6 really stops it. Computer wants me to just play for some space on the queen side, which makes sense. He hasn't really done much over here. Yeah, rook c1 I don't really like. I mean, that was kind of just an, I don't know what I want to do move. So I probably need to make up my mind here. I'm either going to go for this h4 idea, or I'm just going to play normally and castle and push these pawns. I'm surprised the computer likes taking. I didn't think I wanted to make him move this pawn. I think I did look at taking though, didn't I? Maybe I only looked after rook c1 because I was thinking maybe I could win a pawn here. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that is why I played rook c1, was I was trying to line up the threat of taking here and taking this pawn. I thought for sure he would play knight c6. The computer actually wants him to play c5, which also makes sense. C6 was not good. Not terrible, I guess, but now this knight doesn't really have much to do. Yeah, the computer still wants me to just play for a queenside attack. Yeah, and I think h4 is kind of mixing plans. Computer still doesn't really care for it. Not too surprising. Yeah, and I thought if he was privy to this idea of knight g5, maybe he would play f6, and then h5, knight h4, knight g6 seems good. So I thought h4, if I could induce f6, would be good for me. Yeah, that's kind of an atypical move for me to play. Sort of speculatively, let's say. Just hoping that I can get a kingside attack. And yeah, computer actually wants me to take. That's a little surprising to me because I thought I was just helping him out, helping untangle his pieces here. But the computer actually takes with the queen. I mean, at least I'm getting... Yeah, I guess if he takes with the knight, I get e5 for my knight. Maybe that's why it wants to leave the knight there. h5, not fond of. And yeah, it says he's fine here. But yeah, this was a bad move. Yeah, and once I saw bishop d3, I was like, that pretty much has to be the correct move. And he actually played the best continuation here, just sacking the exchange for a pawn. Bishop h7 check was correct. It wants me to castle. That's funny. I mean, I definitely felt kind of exposed with my king here. Because even just the knight and the queen combined could give me problems. But I've got so many defensive pieces, and these pieces aren't moving anytime soon, really. Aren't getting into the attack. Castling just seems weird, though, because, I mean, I was thinking of, you know, rook h3 and trying to get the rook somewhere. So I thought I liked my rook where it was. f4, I'll admit, is kind of an odd-looking move. I thought I just wanted the knight to move, and maybe I could get queen g6. And if he took here, I thought I could trade and then play rook d1, and then his queen is tied down to this mate idea on the back rank. And then after I played f4, I thought knight g4 was probably fine for him, and the computer agrees. It says knight takes c4 is fine too. Okay, now it's saying knight takes c4 is not so fine. Rook h3 was your move here. Yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense too. I guess the thing I wondered about was, I thought I wanted to get my rook to f3, you know, to try to threaten this back rank mate. And as long as his knight is here, I can't really do that. And I mean, I see the merit of it on g3, putting pressure on the g7 pawn, but it's tough for my queen to come and assist in that, because then my bishop hangs. Although, if he takes my bishop, then maybe I can play queen g7 mate, so... yeah, maybe this was... or not that, but this was a good idea. Let's see what the computer thinks of your move. Not too impressed, but that might still be better than f4. Probably about the same. Castling seems really odd. And, I mean, weakening that pawn. So yeah, he played well defensively here. Knight f3, queen d3. Queen d3 is an interesting move. Just putting a pin here. What did I do here? Queen g6 or knight? Oh, I did play knight f3. Really? I did that? Yeah, that's right. Because I was thinking, like, if knight f3, knight e3, which was played, I thought I could play here because this is mate, and I'm also forking the queen if other stuff goes on, but then I realized, oh yeah, he can take here with check, and that kind of stops it. Oh really? You had the same kind of thing? That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it feels kind of odd to do that. So yeah, I mean, I like to try to get the knight involved. I mean, these squares look nice for the knight, although, I mean, g6 cuts off the protection of the bishop. Yeah, queen g6, I didn't really have a follow-up, I don't think. I mean, I was still thinking about doing this, though I assumed he wouldn't let me. And then here I had to think, I was trying to figure out if, like, if I didn't take the knight, and I just went for this idea, could it be defended? And eventually I concluded that it could be. Trying to remember. Oh yeah, because say I move the king, he can take here, and then my queen's got to do something. So there wasn't time for that. To be honest, I forgot that he was just chucking away a piece doing this. Oh, he's not, right, because this is hanging, yeah. And then when I saw rook g1, it wants queen g6 check first. That makes sense. I did not consider that, but that does make a lot of sense. Rook c2, huh? I guess the computer... I don't know, I have no explanation for rook c2. What's the idea? Knight a6, knight e5 then? So what's wrong with knight e5 now? I assume the computer will show me. What? So in this line with rook c2, the computer plays knight a6. But if I play knight e5, then the computer plays knight d7. What? I'm very confused by that. I mean, knight d7 makes sense. I was thinking about maybe I could play queen g6 check, and after the queen trade, either take with the rook and try to like double up, win these pawns, and just win in an endgame. But I wasn't really sure. I don't understand why after rook c2 he has to play knight a6. So what's wrong with this? Oh, now I just get like this and bring... Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I don't know why I can't do that from... if he goes to a6. I'm still pretty confused. I guess in this case, the queen does really want to be in front. Usually, in these batteries, I feel like you want the queen in the back or in the middle. But in this case, when the queen's in front, I'm always taking with check, instead of in the game where I took on g7 with a rook and it wasn't check, and so then I had to make sure I could avoid, you know, any tricks that he had of perpetual or checkmating me somehow. So I like this idea of getting the queen in front. I still don't understand why the knight has different destinations depending on this, but okay. So yeah, now it says knight a6 is a blunder, and it likes my move. Rook c3. I mean, at least with rook c3, I'm sort of lining all this up more quickly than with like rook c2 and all these moves. And it wants me to take first? Really? Taking's that much better than rook g3? I'm not too worried. Yeah, I thought it was just completely over here. Queen h4 was a really resourceful move. I didn't see that at all. And then here I got a little worried because, let's see. I saw if king to these squares, he gets to take with check. And then the knight's hanging. Although maybe just knight here's fine. But still, I mean, he's got some follow-up checks over here. If king here, he can take here with check. Same with here. Oh, knight f3 is nice. Yeah, I probably should have seen knight f3. Because that's the same idea as knight g6, but my knight's not in the way. Yeah, so knight f3 is just it. And queen f2 is a nice move too. Queen f2 is really nice. It hits here, threatens this, winning this. Yeah. So I wonder if, yeah, he can draw or might be better. The computer's not sure. Now it says white's better. So this did get really double-edged. I had to be careful not to blunder away my advantage. Yeah, here black's completely winning. Yeah, I mean, I guess in these lines I'm probably losing my knight. And then I wondered about king d1. I thought king d1 I was probably okay. Yeah, I wasn't worried about that move so much. I thought queen h5, and I wasn't sure. But any sensible move and I can escape. I think one thing I missed until the very end was if I just run my king in the corner, then there's never going to be a back rank check because my rook's on that. So I can just bolt for this corner and probably don't have to worry about anything. So knight g6 didn't really throw anything away. And yeah, then this little repetition. And just run for the corner. Okay, well, another really interesting game. So I'm at 1991, and I'm on like a 3-game win streak. So if I win one more, depending on my opponent's strength, I might get to 2000. So I guess let's try one more. I hope I have brain power to spare after that last one. Ah, I'm black. Con. Oh, come on. Yeah, no fun at all. Man, a6 seems like a good move. Yeah, a6 seems like it makes bishop b5 look pretty silly. And b5? Why can't I play this? Alright. Man, this is like a hyper-accelerated con. So this makes a lot of sense. Man, I'd love to dissuade him from castling kingside, but I don't see how I can do that. Because, man, it'd be fun if he castled over here and I've already got all this going. But I don't see any way I can make that happen. So I guess let's just make this kind of normal development move. And I can even either win the bishop pair or really clamp down on the center. I guess after c3 he's not so worried about that. After knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, c3. Alright, I think I'm going to go here just to rule out e5. Okay. Well, I'm not too bothered by this. If he wants to spin those tempi, he can. I guess maybe I should be getting my bishop on this diagonal. Diagonal's pretty weak looking. Although if he's going to trade rooks, it's a little less appealing. I don't know what my bishop does anywhere else. Okay. I'm guessing I should probably play d5 at some point too. But maybe wait until after I've castled. And he's gonna play bishop f1. Okay, he's opening it up. I think I'm fine with just taking here. Yeah. Oh, actually, I've got that defended, don't I? That's the idea. Man, this hangs onto the pawn, but this just feels so much more natural. Maybe he can't take the pawn regardless. I guess he can, it just looks a little scary. E5 is also possible if I play knight f6. But maybe not for long. Maybe I can just play knight g4 and win it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go knight f6. This might lose a pawn. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna take with my queen, but I guess that is a little annoying. Okay. Let's take, well... yeah, let's stick with the bishop. That's pretty scary, isn't it? I mean, this... maybe just castles first and get ready for some discovery. But E5 is kind of annoying. Okay, I'm just gonna castle. So I'm down a pawn, but I've got the bishop pair. This development is pretty weird. I've got some threats. Really? Isn't this pretty annoying? Looks pretty annoying. Yeah, I think let's just win my pawn back. And if here, then I think just queen b7. That move's gotta be good. Yes! Ah, 1997. I've got to win another game to get to 2000. Oh, I'm so tired. Okay, well, let's see what happened in that game. See, that's one of those things that's like, whenever I start thinking that 2000 players are good, then they play moves like queen c5 that just hangs the queen. And I'm like, oh yeah, I do that sometimes. So these other people probably do it too. Yeah, I'm interested to see who was better in this opening. I mean, there's absolutely no way that bishop b5, a6, bishop c4, b5 was good for white. I mean, just gave me a lot of free moves. Gave me a free just space on the queen side for free. Thank you. Yeah, it's really close. So the computer actually says that the game was pretty even until right here, when, yeah, this move, I guess he didn't appreciate the problem here, because the computer just wants him to get out of the way. But yeah, now black has a big advantage. I wasn't sure where I was going to go from here. I didn't know if I wanted to take this or how I wanted to proceed. I guess, I mean, if I take here and take here, I mean, I'm kind of doubling up all his pawns, and I'm probably going to be better in the end game. So you're confident I'm going to win my next game? We'll see. Okay, so let's look at this opening. I'm assuming we're going to get out of book pretty quickly, because I just can't imagine that the way he played was correct. Yeah, this is not a move at all. A6 is just obviously better for, well, maybe not better. The computer says black's equal. And yeah, I can't explain these moves. Like, I just got 2 free tempi. Bishop b7 was correct. He wants queen c7 here. Yeah, I mean, I thought about knight f6 here, but I wasn't sure about e5, so I figured I would stop that first. This is all okay. Man, the computer doesn't want me to allow this. It wants me to just push b4. Admittedly, I never really considered pushing b4 c3, b takes c3. Oh no, the computer actually doesn't do those exchanges. Yeah, I mean, I can believe that. I'm kind of letting his rook do something productive, whereas it's not going to be doing anything this way for a while. So I can believe that. That's probably an oversight on my part. And just fianchettoed. And he did find a tactical way here to win a pawn, although the computer is not a believer. I want him to take with the knight. I did miss it first that my bishop is also hitting this, so he's not going to be able to defend this pawn. Yeah, I guess knight takes defends this. Although he can trade knights, but I'm happy to trade knights because his knight's a good defender of the king's side. And I thought forever here about knight f6 or knight e7, and I played the wrong one. Yeah, I thought e5 would be played. I would say just take the pawn. I thought after e5 here, and I was likely to win the pawn back. Or I could chicken out and play knight d5, which also looks good. Yeah, eventually took with the bishop, which was correct. And castling was correct, so that's good. And then, yeah, this stuff. Alright, I guess may this be the final battle. Come on, low-rated opponent. I want white, I want a low rating. Okay. Well, he's not 2,000, but I am black. Come on, bishop b5. Darn. So it's the usual con. Queen c7. Okay, and this is a mistake, or at least an inaccuracy. And I'm supposed to play knight f6 first, and then I'm going to play bishop b4. Okay. Thinking I can take here. Yeah, I can just take here. Because I'm winning my piece back, and then some. Just make sure that line works. If I take here first, he takes with the pawn, and I'm probably still better, but this seems more critical. Yeah, okay. And no thought. It takes. It's looking good. Seems like I'll at least be up 2 pawns here. He is going to have a lead in development. This is it. Can't let up, though. It's far from over. Yeah, you get him, Nightbot. And doesn't this win more material? That might be getting greedy. Take here, and then this pawn's hanging. Maybe d5 first is more accurate to sort of get rid of this threat. Yeah, I think I prefer that. My opponent offers a draw. What a guy. Okay, well, I appreciate the support. Sorry, Nightbot is, you know, set to kill. Yeah, this was the move I was most worried about, but when I take, I defend this pawn, so I think he takes back, and then I can just castle. Or, I mean, I can even maybe take here. That just looks really, really bold, but might work. But this seems pretty forced. Yeah, hopefully you can get to 2100. It'll be a nice, nice day for both of us. Okay, now this is the crazy line. That just looks pretty risky. On the other hand, if I castle, that looks risky. But I have f6 or e5. He's got some activity, so I've got to be a little careful. Yeah. Just gonna be safe. Yeah, y'all are pointing out a flaw with Queen C2. I think just F6. F6 looks ultra safe, getting my queen to defend over here too. E5 could encourage a queen trade though, but I'd only be up one pawn. I would rather be up two. It's a tempo move. I can also, though this hangs, so no, it doesn't hang. Well, that being the case, E5 looks pretty reasonable. Oh, that does hang, it's check. Maybe King H8. I need to develop my queen side, though. I don't think my king's in danger just yet. So let's just get the tempo move in. Hello, Eric Ice. Eric Ice H Sard? Something like that. How's it going? Okay, I'm just gonna play b5. Well, maybe not b5. Okay. Let's just develop the bishop. Get the rooks connected. I gotta be careful about b7, that's why I wanted to play b5, but maybe a4 was annoying. It's lagging for you? Well, doesn't seem like I've got any quality problems, but if anyone else is having some issues, let me know. Streamlabs is saying all good. Thinking rook ac1 or ac8. Bishop's a little suspicious there. So let's do it. I also don't need to get into a time situation here. Oh yeah, that's also true. I think... Is it after affiliate that you get the quality settings? Because if it's after partner, I mean, I'm never getting there. Okay, that defends the bishop. Protect d5 so I can get in e5, d4. Ah, gotcha. So yeah, sorry about that, Eric. Alright, now... Well, he's not really threatening to take here because the bishop ping... Ah, but my bishop hangs. So probably just b5. b5, a4. It's a little annoying. But I don't see what else to do about it. Okay, well now c2 is hanging. And that comes with an attack on his queen, so I'm not gonna fall for any of that rook c1 business. Yeah, that seems like the way to go. And if he tries to avoid the queen trade, then I'm getting a2 also, it looks like. He's got to defend the bishop. Yeah, I don't see an issue. 3 pawns. I would love to get the queens off the board. Maybe even get some rooks off the board. Just take it all off. Yes! Alright, no mouse slips here. Alright. It looks like something else is hanging here. Okay. But I can take the bishop. Rook takes bishop, bishop takes knight, rook e8. Or just rook c1, or rook c8's probably better. But that all seems fine. More trading. Yeah, rook c8's gotta be the move. His bishop isn't really a bother. I'm getting rook c2. And then a lot of these pawns are going to be lost. Or you could hang mate in 1. That works too. Yes! 2000! What a long, strange journey it's been. But here we are. 2003. The year I turned 13. So yeah, this is actually one of the things that I've liked about the con. Yeah, thank you. That's some pressure off, at least, to have finally gotten there. Also, rook c8 first, threatening mate was possible. That's a good point. I didn't consider that. So yeah, this is what I have liked about the con in some of the blitz games that I've played with it, is that after queen c7, like bishop e3 is an idea in a lot of Sicilian lines, but in the con it's actually bad because of bishop b4. And I watched a video of John Bartholomew's where he explained this in detail, and he explained that knight f6, even though bishop b4 is the idea, that knight f6 first is actually more accurate, and then you play bishop b4, and you can take advantage of this pin. I was a little worried he was weaseling out of it when he played bishop e2, since he was kind of ready to castle that way. But yeah, come on, pass pawn, you missed it. So yeah, knight f6 first, and then yeah, bishop e2. I was a little worried that he was going to be able to get out of trouble, but at the very least I'm going to double his pawns. Probably win a pawn. And queen d3. Yeah, it took me a while to see that knight takes e4 was working here. That's interesting that that's the best move, and the 2 games in the database did not feature this move. But yeah, the computer just says it's by far the best move. Yeah, definitely catch it on YouTube later. Or the Twitch recording, either one. So yeah, I'm really glad I found this move. That just gave me an advantage that I carried the whole way. It looks like I had one little slip up where I was only a little bit better. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. It wants bishop c3. I never really considered, but bishop c3 does trade off the dark squared bishops. It does make sense to trade bishop for bishop rather than trading the bishop for this knight. I'd rather get this bishop. So yeah, that makes sense, and I never really considered that, but that's a point of improvement. I liked d5 because the main thing I was worried about in after rook b1 was getting some pressure here and like maybe hanging my a8 rook. So I thought d5 was just a good move to rule all that out. The computer doesn't like it because he can play queen here and then my bishop c3 idea is gone. Although he didn't do that. Now it likes taking the knight, which makes sense because I don't want to allow queen g7. So yeah, this is all fine. And eventually castles. So yeah, thankfully this didn't happen, because that's a big plus for white. Yeah, the computer doesn't even want him to do this bishop c3. Given the circumstance that he's down 2 pawns, I guess I don't blame him for trying to, you know, make a big threat like that. But at the end of the day, the bishop was misplaced on c3, I think. It's just an odd square for the bishop in front of the c2 pawn. So f6 was the best move. I figured that was the safest. Ah, we got a clip. I think that's the first ever clip. F6 was safe. I did want b5 here. I can't remember. I think this was the... Well... I can't remember if I thought about b5 here, or if it was another position. I think I did consider it here, but I figured I wanted to develop my queenside pieces, because the only way I'm really going to lose this is if he gets really active before I get a chance to get developed, or I just make a blunder. So now the computer is liking bishop d7, although I played knight c6 first. Wow, and the computer wants him to play queen b6 and says I shouldn't take. I guess his rook on b6 is pretty annoying and difficult to dislodge. But black's still better in that line. So I continued on developing. Yeah, it's fine. I played rook a8. It looks like the computer slightly prefers... Okay, now it's not sure. All good. I was looking at knight e5 at various moments. But I decided on knight e7 here because I wanted to protect d5 and try to play e5 d4, let my bishop do a little more work. So I wonder why the computer says this is the mistake. Yeah, it wants him to play bishop a5 right away, which I did not see. And what's the difference in this line and what happened in the game? Because bishop a5, I take c2. Oh, he has rook takes b7 in that line. Whereas when he played bishop a5 a move later, I had already played b5. Yeah, so this line, now it just wins a pawn. Well, not really winning a pawn, because I'm winning c2. So I think I'm still up 2 pawns at the end of that line, but white's more active, there's no doubt about that. So I guess that's why the computer says 0.7 for black. And yeah, now b5 just made a lot of sense. I was worried most about a4. Computer doesn't seem to really mind that. I think a4, I mean, I wouldn't take. Maybe he can win a pawn here with all the guys that he would have on b5, but he's also got to be careful with the bishop here. So didn't seem like something to worry too much about. Yeah, and now this move doesn't work because I'm winning a pawn and he's not getting it back. So I guess this was probably the position where Mean Thomas or Thomas or something, sorry, suggested rook c8 or rook fc8 to threaten mate. Although it's not, well, it would trade rooks, but with his bishops still around in this position, he could play bishop f1. So maybe it was a move later. Yeah, I'm not sure. 95 getting into c4 outpost. In this position? Yeah, I mean, the computer agrees with you. Yeah, I mean, e5 is obviously a more active square, so I see the merit of that. And c4 is a great square for the knight. I guess I was giving more weight to trying to improve the bishop. I wanted to get these pawns on dark squares so my bishop could come out and do stuff somewhere. But yeah, I mean, your idea is obviously very good and better than mine. So yeah, this idea doesn't really work because he's got a piece hanging too, and rook c8, and I don't think there's really anything he can do here because I'm getting rook c2, and yeah, doesn't look so good. And yeah, he just hung mate in 1, and that was all she wrote. So okay, I'm gonna back out to the full browser here so I can show my full rating progression as I've finally gotten to 2000. Well, let's look at just classical. So yeah, this is the full story. It's a little cut off for y'all. Darn. I'm just gonna hide myself momentarily since I want to show this. Is this what I want? No, this. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean, I basically picked up chess, 5 years ago in 2015, and was able to improve pretty quickly at first. I mean, my first real rating was around 1100, 1120 in 2015. And, a few months later, I'm up at 1700. Eventually got all the way up to around 1900 within the first year or so of playing, and then things kind of petered out and improving became a lot more difficult. And I just wasn't playing as regularly. That was when I finished with college and had a job and all that kind of stuff. So just kind of hung around 1800 range for a while, occasionally 1900. And then last year started playing a little bit more again. Had this nice push up to 1923 here, 1953. And then around here is where I started streaming more, late January, early February. And I think that's really helped me improve more. Just taking games more seriously and obviously getting help from you fine folks in the chat. So yeah, have I checked my chess insights? I have looked at them some. Honestly, I find them really interesting, and it's really cool that that Lichess has that feature. But I haven't found them to be that useful. Like, I haven't. Yeah, okay. Good luck, pass pawn. Did you make it to 2100? Are we both at our next, milestone? So yeah, the insights are really cool. I just haven't really found a use for them. I think maybe if I put more time into it, I could find some interesting patterns. Like if I filtered for, say, like the past 2 years only and didn't look at all these games that happened, when I was much lower rated. But yeah, well, hopefully you'll get there today too, pass pawn. I'm certainly not going to play another classical game today because I want the dot on the graph that says 2000. So yeah, the win rate of the favorite openings is nice. Although when I've looked at that before, it's like if you look at mine, there's 7 different Sicilian lines where I've had 5 games in. So I would like it more if I could group those. Like, instead of by each individual variation, if I could group it by okay, after 5 a6, what's my win rate? So yeah, it's a really cool, and it's great that Lichess offers that for free. I just haven't personally gotten to play with it enough to get a lot of value out of it, I think. So yeah, 94.6 percentile. That's also good. Pass pawn, I would like to do that, but I think I'm probably done for the day. Man, that second to last game really took a lot out of me because it was very sharp. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to wait until tomorrow. So And yeah, I'm gonna rest on my laurels for today. Yeah, time travel is also often a theme for me. Not sure what that's all about, but so was there anything else here I wanted to see? Highest 2003, blah blah blah. Here I am on the distribution graph. I like how you can always see this little bump at 2000, where people like me who want to stay at 2000, they don't want to risk that rating. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just channeling my inner Grishuk, basically. Getting into time trouble. So. Okay, well, yep, I'm gonna end the stream here, I think. You know, I've got to go celebrate, and, you know, I don't know what I'll have to do, but I'll have to pretend that I'm, you know, 21 again and, you know, go crazy. Maybe I'll have to do the obligatory Reddit chess post of I made 2,000. Yeah, we'll see. But okay, well, I'm headed out. Thanks again, everyone. Passpon, good luck on your quest to 2100. Maybe I'll catch up with you one day, but probably not. I'm guessing you're gonna increase a lot quicker than I'm gonna increase, so oh well. Alright, well, I'll see all y'all later. Take